Hello, this is Mr. Maximus Film, and today I'm going to be reviewing Yes's Close to the Edge. This is part of me revamping my YouTube account, which I basically virtually never put any videos on until now. And you should also check out my review of the Pink Floyd box set, oh by the way. And yeah, so I'm going to be reviewing a lot of music. And today I'm doing more of the proggy thing with Pink Floyd, and now I'm going to do Yes, but this is more of an album review. I'm probably going to do some Pink Floyd album reviews in the future. For those of you who don't know, Yes is an atypical prog band. Progressive rock is prog, it's the same thing. And if you don't know what that is, Google it, type into Wikipedia, learn some stuff about it. But basically what Yes does is makes longer, more complex, more classically inspired songs instead of being blues inspired. And there is only 3 songs on this album. 1, 2, 3. Close to the Edge, And You and I, and Siberian Khatru. And I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And each song is long. The first song, Close to the Edge, is 18 minutes. The second song, And You and I, is about 10 minutes. And the third song, Siberian Khatru, apologize if I pronounced that wrong, is 9 minutes or so. 8, 9 minutes. So they're all very long songs. So if you can't take a song that is longer than 3-4 minutes, then you should not listen to any progressive rock or Yes or this album. But I think this album is very good. I will go into that. So the 3 songs, Yes and other progressive rock bands tend to divide their songs into sections. So Close to the Edge has, let me look at this, 4 sections, and You and I has 4 sections as well, and Siberian Khatru doesn't have any. But basically, what each section does, it's a movement. It's like classical music. I play piano, so I know a bit about classical music. And classical music has a lot of movements and time changes and, tweaks like that. And this is sort of the rock version of that. And this album starts out with Close to the Edge, and very wild animal sound, very naturey, very airy. You hear the river rolling and you hear birds chirping. And it sort of blasts into this very complex guitar work by Steve Howe, the Yes guitarist. It's very complex, it's very intense. And then you hear Jon Anderson, the vocalist, shouting out wordless vocals and in between the guitar licks. And then you get into the main band section when sort of everything comes together and you hear a more quieter, more gentler, more flowing melody that goes through, and it turns into a more funky sort of thing. You got this sort of funk groove with this more funk guitar, and Jon Anderson's sort of preachy vocals in the background, sort of spurting out all this very philosophical, preachy, mind if I use the word again, sort of ramblings, which if this I got on CD, I get some on digital download and some on CD, but if you look up the lyrics, they're very philosophical, they're very complex, and sometimes I think he's just doing it to make it sound complex, but I guess they do have a deeper meaning. And it goes through things, the funk sort of vibe stays around for a very long time, and then it gets sort of quieter and more subdued, and the organ comes in, and then there's these harmony vocals by the other members of the band with Jon Anderson in the part called I Get Up, I Get Down. And, it's very peaceful, it's very atmospheric, it's very serene with the keyboards and the textures in the background. And then all of a sudden this church organ comes, and it's very blue, and, it kind of goes up and up and up, and then it gets back into the more intense section, and then it goes into the ending, which is very much the funk thing again, but much more epic and closure. Sorry for the hand. And so, with me rambling on about the different movements of the song, it's a very good song. With songs that are 20 minutes, which I have listened to a lot of longer music, I can also listen to shorter songs, but songs that I listen to that are 20 minutes, a lot of them, like the ones by Pink Floyd, just sort of spent a lot of time in the same area and just go through and sort of just jam, which I like. I like that, but it can get boring after the first couple listens. But Yes, and Close to the Edge, it particularly moves quickly from section to section. And the same vibe is there throughout the entire thing, so it's not like, 1 second it's blues, and then the 1 second then it's all of a sudden, pop. It's not that. It's the same vibe, the same funky sort of naturey vibe, as you can clearly see on the cover throughout the entire album and the entire song. But the movements are different, and you get a lot of different movement changes. So then the next song is And You and I, which is more acoustic, and it starts out with Steve Howe tuning his guitar, which gives this sort of, less processed sort of feel. These guys aren't just computer electronics; they're real people sort of vibe. And it's a longer song as well, but it has the same sort of naturey feel and funky sort of feel, but it's more acoustic. It's more, it's still preachy, but it's acoustic as opposed to the electricness. And it has this thumping sort of beat in the background, boom, 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 throughout the entire thing. And you get this sort of feeling like you're praying, you're in this weird temple, for me. And it's very nice, and it goes through its different movements, but it also has that acoustic feel that the entire thing. In some moments it gets very epic and very keyboard, swirling synthesizers, the more epic grandiose parts. But then it often goes back to this, and you and I, with a little acoustic in the background. I'm sorry for my horrible singing. And after that ends, you get Siberian True, which is the more rocker on this album. I can't get over it. There's only 3 songs, people. Each one has a sort of different flavor. Acoustic, epic, which is Close to the Edge, and then you get this rocker. And this one starts out with sort of this little guitar jam, just a guitar alone, and then the instruments come in, and then it has this riff. And the riff sort of is very empowering. It's very sharp. It's very articulate. It's not rambling. It's not unplanned. It's a very good solo. And it's not necessarily blues based either, like a lot of Zeppelin riffs. It's not blues based. And the lyrics, John Anderson's falsetto is very preachy, and I like that sometimes. In this one, it's more, gold stainless nails. It's more rockerish, but yet keeping that falsetto, keeping that groove that John Anderson has. So, Close to the Edge, I would give a 4.5 out of 5 for the album. I think it's a very good album. I think if you like prog, if you like complexity, and you just like sitting down, listening to music, and listening to the different arrangements play out, and if you like varied albums with a lot of variety, it's not the same theme throughout the entire album. It's not the same genre throughout the entire album. I would recommend Close to the Edge by Yes. And this is the CD I got, and you can see all the members of the band, sort of hanging out. So this is my review for Close to the Edge, done in less than 10 minutes, which is good. And this is Mr. Maximus Film, and I'm signing off.